It would seem as though.
Hi.
Hi.
How's it going?
It'd be better if I knew how this ink pen worked.
Yeah.
Well,
you click
I'm like,
it, you twist it,
you
bop it,
throw it,
twist
you
it,
do something,
turn it,
you
pull it.
Right.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi.
God.
Welcome to another week of It Would Seem As Though, the podcast where we talk about anything, everything, and nothing.
Mostly nothing.
Mostly nothing.
Uh-huh.
I'm Vesta.
Yeah, me too. No, just kidding. I'm
You're,
Bianca.
wait, you're me?
Yeah, I'm saying it like you're saying I'm tired. I'm tired. Yeah, me too. Same. No, I'm Annika.
Are
But
these ink pens magic?
can I see it?
Yeah,
Before
I can't
you
make
have
it
an
work.
aneurysm.
I'm like, none of them work. They're all broken.
It's just the little.
Oh, I just have to
handle
be smarter
part.
than the ink pen?
Whatever, the little clip part that you clip to shit. That's the only part that goes
Oh.
down. So you push it down.
Oh, that's not intuitive for me.
No, agreed.
So the part of the pen that you would clip on your pocket, if you had a pocket protector, because you're a nerd,
yeah.
is the part you click down. I've never seen that in a pen before.
I just want you to know this has now become the podcast where we describe writing implements to the elderly.
Well,
I'm not
we
mad.
have done stranger things.
Girl, today.
Today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
You know.
yeah.
Not really.
I got to tell you the dumb thing I did yesterday.
Okay, I'm ready.
So, yesterday was, the first.
Yeah.
So, I was like, oh, I have to go pick up groceries. Oh my God, the back of my car is still full of bags of bottles to return.
Sure.
Oh, you know what? I'll just go there first. Because I don't go into the building. So I was like, that'll be fine. I'll just go to... Well, they were closed. And when they're closed, that is locked. And
makes
turned
sense.
off. It makes sense,
Because
yes.
Gavin and I were going to go do it too, but he's like, aren't they closed? And I was like, why would they be closed? It's a little trap hatch. But I guess if you open it, you can crawl through that bitch.
Yes, I suppose you could.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't, but
I wouldn't
somebody
either.
could.
Yeah.
You know, but I felt very silly. And then I had to go get my groceries and have Alex put them in the back seat. Alex is the man that delivers our groceries to the car.
The man you see on a weekly basis.
Yeah, Alex is my new BFF
Mm-hmm.
who works at Fred Meyer.
This little, 19-year-old child.
Well, I usually do car side delivery with my groceries and stuff because why would I go in the store?
Yeah.
And more often than not, it's the same guy. It's Alex,
Yeah.
who no longer asks my name or anything else. He
says,
just comes
"Hey,
to the back of the
bitch."
car and he's all, hey, how are you?
Hey,
Blah,
bitch,
blah, blah.
open the fucking car.
Yeah.
Ho.
But he was thrown by the fact he was putting groceries in the back seat.
He's like, I don't even know you anymore.
It's weird. I know. Anyway,
Any hoodles.
enough of all that nonsense. So, it is now 2024.
Girl, it's my birthday.
It's weird. It is your birthday month.
I know. I want you to know, because Gavin is the most darling, sweet man in the world. He waited until the 31st of December to give me a birthday present. And I said, my birthday's not for another month. And he says, but I expect to get shit all the time. And I said, okay. So my birthday's already started.
All right.
He keeps saying, do you know it's your birthday? And I said, I do know it's my birthday.
Yeah.
Technically in 28 days, but it's January. What
Right,
else
it's
happens in
January.
January?
Nothing.
My birthday. Thank you.
Nothing.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
I mean, let's see, there was the birthday of Elvis, but he's been gone
Yep,
for a good
he's
long time.
Dead. I
have a couple family members who I don't speak to. It's their
Agreed.
birthday
I was gonna
this
say
month.
that.
But the only one I care about is yours.
I mean, it's the only one that matters.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's the most important one. Are you going to... I know I've discussed it many times, but you're going to say how old you're going to be on your birthday.
Yeah, well, you've literally told people how... You've
Papples.
told the Papples.
I've told the Papples.
The Papples. How old I am.
Yeah.
Multiple times. So I'll be 35. Here's the thing.
That's weird.
Girl. First of all, I didn't know I was going to make it this far. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It
Well, there were some times where I wondered
dodgy
myself.
moments. But conceptualizing getting older is weird. I don't feel older. I will say that, I'm achier, than normal.
Yeah.
Not my aching bones, but
the rheumatiz is acting
exactly.
up.
My
Yeah.
lower back does hurt more regularly than normal. I could also do better, but I think at 35, for so long, I feel like growing up as a young adult, I have to go to school, I have to get a good job, I have to have a house, I have to be married. You have to do all these lifestyle,
Yes.
milestones, right? And for a long time, I felt like, I was kind of behind on everything because I just moved away and I went and did better shit. You know what I mean? I didn't,
Right.
and I went to college all the time, but I wasn't trying to own a house or, own anything or be married at the time. I was doing what I wanted, but I felt like that wasn't in the standard of what we need to do to be considered a grown-up. I wasn't hitting any of those benchmarks.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't own my car, I didn't own a house, I wasn't in a good relationship, none of it. And so now I'm almost 35, and I look at all the things that I currently have or have done, and I'm like, oh, okay, now I feel like, oh, I've done the shit. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I understand exactly what you're saying, because
Yeah.
I didn't own a house until I was in my early 40s. Mm-hmm. And never own it. You don't ever own it. The bank owns it, but it wasn't like my house.
Yeah, where you have like a mortgage.
Right. And wasn't in a stable relationship until I met my husband, which was when I was 40.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, it's
and
crazy.
What's funny to me is it did make me feel like less of an adult. Like, other people were more adult than me because they were, as the kids now say, they were adulting.
Yeah.
And I was like still kind of floundering about a lot of things. Okay. My career was set.
Yeah.
I had been doing the same 2 jobs for hundreds of years because I started doing the show when I started performing when I was 21 and did that regularly until I was like, I'm done. And then I wasn't really done, but I was done with my own show.
How
I was 43.
Okay, so 22 years.
22
girl.
years.
That's a long fucking
20
time.
years having my own show at the bar.
Yeah.
But I also have been doing hair since you were born.
Yeah.
So I've been doing hair for 35 years.
That's crazy.
You know, yeah. But so those were established. Yeah. I was like, well, my jobs are good and solid and whatever. But it was everything else that seemed to be at sea.
Yeah.
You know, because I couldn't get a decent relationship to save my life, but was like not willing to not have a relationship. So I just got in crappy relationships.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because I was like, I guess that's the best I can do, because I didn't really love me and appreciate me the way I should.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, it's like, I guess this is all like, no. And what's funny is, so when I met my husband, I was in a relationship with an idiot.
Mm.
And
Ugh.
I know, right?
Wretch.
And he was in a relationship as well, so we were just like going to be friends and whatever.
I want you to know.
I know I had no intentions of just being friends.
I know.
I'm to be real.
I just want you to know my whole life. I know that you guys were going to be friends and nothing happened for the first 6 minutes or whatever. But I want you to know that since youth I said, like, that is so funny to me, just because, like, look where we are now, bitch.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I know, married with children.
I know.
We just spent our 22nd Christmas together.
No big deal.
No big deal. But right after I had met him, and I was like, this guy, if he'd have asked me to marry him on the first date, I'd have done it.
Sure.
I'd have been like, yeah, I'm going to spend the rest of my life with you. That's fine. So I was at work one day, and a friend of mine who I've known my whole entire adult life was like, he came in and I was talking to him, and I said, because he was telling me that he was going to go out. He had a new prospective dating person, whatever. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And I said, let me ask you a personal question. I've known you 150 years now.
Sure.
How is it I've never known you to be in, like, a serious long-term relationship?
Yeah.
And he said to me, well, I decided a long time ago, if I can't have a marriage like my parents, where they still love each other, they're still happy to see each other, they adore each other. He said, if I can't have that, I'm not going to settle for less. And I swear to God, it was like that moment in the cartoons where the light bulb appears above your head, because I was all, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
That's what I've been doing my whole life, is settling.
Yeah.
And I don't want to settle anymore. And so I went home that day and said to my then boyfriend, we're done.
All done.
I decided I don't want to settle anymore. And he hysterically said to me, you think you settled for me? And I was like, oh, big time.
No, I don't think I settled, bitch. I think I lowered my standards.
Right. Right. I went beyond settling.
Bitch, yeah.
I mean, because this was a guy who, in the time we were together, couldn't keep a job. And it was never his fault, of course. But couldn't keep a job, couldn't keep his act together for even 10 seconds. And it was like, dude, girl, yes, absolutely, I settled for you, and now you gotta go.
He was always sick. I remember forever, again, as a youth, hearing the story of you and Grandma came home from lunch, and she goes to use the bathroom, and he's, like, laying on the bathroom floor all passed out, or whatever it was, because he fainted. But your bathroom was literally the size of a fucking postage stamp. So if he had fainted, he would have killed himself.
Well, right, because in that bathroom, if you had fainted, unless you, like, slid down the wall or something behind you.
But if you fell.
But you would have hit something, because it was literally clawfoot tub, sink, toilet, and not space between them.
No.
So there's no way you could have landed between them. And the way he was laying on the floor, it was like, you placed yourself there.
Yeah, it was very much like the Goofy cutout when Goofy like runs through a wall or whatever.
Absolutely,
like he just planned it.
But the funniest thing was, because we were out shopping, and she was like, "I need to go to the bathroom." I was like, "Me too. Let's just go to my house because we're real close." Went to my house, and she walked to the bathroom, came right back, and I was like, "That was."
She just peed
fast.
on your floor.
And she goes, yeah, he's laying on the floor. I don't know if he's dead because I didn't kick him. And I was like, okay.
You should have.
So I went in there and I was like, get up off the floor. By this point, I had lost all empathy.
Oh, yeah. I hate that.
Because I wasn't like, oh my God, are you okay? I was like, get up off the floor. I have to pee. You're in the way.
Yep.
And I know that sounds heartless, but this was a regular deal for 4 years.
Yeah.
Which was 3 years and...
a day. And 364 days too long.
Too long, yeah. Should have been one date and done.
Yeah, instead of like, ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah.
No.
Guess what? I went on a horrible date. Let me tell you about it. No, guess what? I went on a horrible date and then almost was with him for half a decade. You know?
That was... Well, and the other thing, and here is where it kind of also went awry, is when it started really going awry, I was like, I need to be out of this shit.
Yeah.
But I had that... I don't know, white savior complex. I don't know what it is. Where I was like, if I break up with him, he will either be homeless.
Where's he going to go?
Or where's he going to go? Right. He'll either be homeless or have to go live with his mother. Well, if he had to go live with his mother, it's like rats and roaches central.
Yeah.
And if he's homeless, well, that speaks for itself. Well, I got to a point where I was like, he's a grown-ass man. That's not my problem. And guess what? He ended up being both. Homeless and living in a roach motel.
Were you guys the same age?
No.
Okay.
He's younger than me.
Oh, okay. I just didn't know.
Yeah,
Again,
I don't remember
10.
how much younger.
Okay.
Not nearly as much as T is younger than me. Because that'd be weird.
Yeah, it's gross. Ew.
Well, Anyhow.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's okay.
What were we talking about?
I don't know. I don't even know where we were.
Oh,
we started talking about being not feeling like we were adulting.
Yeah.
But now, of course, that I've been married for 21 years, have 2 children at home, and then my other child right here in her own home in the backyard.
Girl. Yeah.
And I have owned my own salon and all those things.
All the things.
I feel very adult.
Yeah, it's crazy to me. Okay.
Does it make you feel more adult having 2 degrees and
so and this
and 2 furry children?
This last year alone, like being in a very healthy, happy adult relationship, and where he practically just worships the ground I walk on. But I have a house, my car's paid off this year, in a few months.
Yeah.
Well, I have 2 degrees. There are lots of things now that I feel like
that's also your body temperature.
2 degrees roughly, girl.
Yeah.
But it is silly feeling like, oh, now I'm an adult. I'm 35. I've been an adult this whole time.
Yeah.
But I feel more established. But it's funny. Like, the more I learn, the more educated I become, the less I actually want to do something like a job. Do you know what I mean? It's so, what are you going to do? Bitch, take a nap. Like, I don't want to do... Yeah. Have you seen the state of our world? I don't feel like doing. I don't feel like seeing and being around. Like, I don't want to do any of that. You know what I mean?
No, I want to tell people what to do. That's all I want to do.
And that's just...
when I was getting ready to... Well, before I had the opportunity to buy the salon I'm in now.
Yeah.
And I was looking for a job, and my friend James... Hey, James.
Hi, Uncle James.
Said to me, here's what you should do. Rent a kiosk at the mall and just put up a sign that said, ask me anything.
Yep.
I would love that.
That would be a dream.
Oh my God, come on. Does this look good? No.
No, it doesn't.
Should I be with this guy? No.
Neither does your makeup, but...
Right.
I guess you didn't ask that
But you didn't ask me that.
Yeah.
I threw that one in free.
Yeah, buy one, get one free, bitch.
Yeah,
Go on insults. It is silly because, now I have these skills from working as management for 15 plus years, right? Having worked in customer service, but most of that time in a supervisory role. And so I have that skill set, and now I have these 2 degrees where I have this extra knowledge, and I did this research project, whatever. So I've done this shit, so I know that I have skills.
Yeah.
Multiple skills. But then I look at jobs and I think, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do any of these things. And I think, oh, I'm not qualified to do anything. That's not the case. I don't want to do. You know what I mean? And it's not because I'm so lazy. Y'all, I've worked and gone to school. I've done a lot in my little life. And it's not like, I deserve to not work. Or that's not what I'm saying. It's just, I know too much. You know what I mean? I know too much. This world's on fucking fire. Everyone's dying. Everyone hates each other. Like, shit's going down. It's just too much. Do you know what I mean? There's too much happening. Yeah. And it's hard for me to go through the humdrum everyday bullshit at a job. Like, when I worked at Starbucks, doing that right now, I feel like I would have been institutionalized. And that sounds like hyperbole, but it's not. Because I don't think I can do it. I genuinely don't think I could go back and do that kind of routine day in and day out and feel okay. Like, it was breaking me down as a person after the 5th fucking year.
Well, it's also, it's every aspect of that.
Yeah.
It's the, where you're dealing with customers who feel entitled to your time and space and product and whatever, that they can be not nice to you.
Yeah.
It's like, and that's, I think, well, and then being with somebody who's not a good manager, or being with people who don't show up to do their job. If you're showing up to do your job, it's super frustrating when other people aren't. Yeah. And then it falls on you to do their part. Yeah. I've always hated that.
Yeah.
And I've always been the person that's like, oh, this is my job. This is what I'm supposed to do. I'm here.
Yeah.
Whether I want to be or not, But, yeah.
Well, and I think one thing, too, is there's a couple aspects. People are like, oh, this hard, sad, tragic, whatever thing is happening in your life. But when you go to work, you hang that up and you go to work. I am not that person. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel everything. I feel too much.
Yeah.
And I'm not that person who's like, well, I'm going to suck it up, my emotion, my feelings, things I'm going through to make everyone else comfortable. Like, I just won't go to work then. Do you know what I mean? And I know that, again, that just sounds like, oh, another millennial who doesn't want to work. But I pride and I choose, like, humanity and people and a healthy, happy lifestyle compared to making millions of dollars. Like, I don't give a shit about any of that, right?
No. I know that every time I've gone to, the hair, conventions and stuff where we're supposed to be learning new things and ways to make more money and blah, blah, blah. It's always work yourself to death.
Yep.
And shove in as many people as you can so they're kind of stacked up. And I'm like, no.
No, it's exhausting.
Yes. Could I make more money? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Would I be stressed out all the fucking time?
Yep.
Yes. Would my clients feel less important? Yes.
Yeah.
So, no.
No, it's not fun. And
I'll make less money. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, like, honestly, and I think that's the benefit of growing up poor, right? We're adults now who know how to function in life, making what we make without living beyond our means. And let me tell you, I was a dumb young adult my first job, I went and spent it on makeup or spent my first paycheck on something stupid. But since my youth...
Who doesn't?
Agreed. Since my youth, I am way better. I'm much, 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 much better at finances, at being an adult, at understanding, I just, and going back to the work thing, because I know too much, man, going to work every day in a capitalistic hellscape society makes me want to die. Going to work every day and paying income taxes that fund a genocide makes me want to fucking die. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yes,
there's nothing about it that makes me feel like, oh, I'm doing good. So honestly, it would have to be like, nonprofit work, or I'd have to be like a writer who just stays home. Like, those are my options. Like, there's not much else.
Yeah, I mean, there's I think there's jobs in like social work where you're actually helping people.
Yeah,
but not. It's like I had a friend who worked for Department of Human Services specifically with children. Children in foster care, children who had to be taken out of their homes, all of those things, and it was soul-sucking.
Yeah.
Because she was all the time talking about how horrible it was because there's not a good... If you're taking children out of their home, it's not good for the child. I mean, it may be better for them, but they don't feel that way.
No.
It's not good for anybody. Mm-hmm. And then you have to do all of the stuff to get it, so where this kid has gone through court and they're placed somewhere else, and it's just awful.
Yep.
Because since we had all those foster kids who had all been adjudicated, we knew that they had already gone through that part of the system.
Yep.
Yeah.
Studying sociology and then studying, women, gender, and sexuality, people often ask me, like, oh, did you want to be a social worker? And in theory, yeah, right? That's like helping people, that's helping the needy, helping people who need it, who are disenfranchised. Love that. But girl, no. Because I don't want to go home every day feeling like I'm going to die. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Like, that's not... I can't.
No, and I've had... I mean, not that kind of work, but some parts of doing what we did with foster care.
Yeah.
It was like, this is soul-sucking. And the last one specifically, where they stuffed a kid into my house the day before the shutdown of COVID, and so I'm stuck with a kid that I don't know. He doesn't know us. In 24 hours a day. Because there was no, because he wasn't going to school, I wasn't going to work. It was awful. Yeah. And I try, it's like we try to be the best parents we can be to, these kids, but it's like when you're in a situation that is bad for everyone. It just doesn't work.
No, and again, I think you and I, as people, kind of just say the same message in different formats, right? Like, if your family's shitty and you don't go home and see your family, like, you can't go and be productive, be healthy, be happy around people who are shitty. You can't go to a job where your manager, your coworkers, whatever, are also shitty. Like, going to these situations where other people are involved and they have an effectual... Like, they can create some sort of environment that is healthy or unhealthy. Or, you know, it's just not a good place to be, whether that's work or your family or your friend group or home. Like, that, they're all very similar in situation. Do you know what I mean?
That is exactly why in, my age, I've gotten to where my family are the people that I've chosen to be my family.
100%.
Who do not crush my soul, who do not... You make me go, I have to get away from here. And yes, some of those people are blood related to me, like yourself. Some people are not, but there are people I all consider my family who I know, A, wouldn't hurt me, and B, if I had an emergency, would be there. Maybe not like, well, I can give you money kind of an emergency, but it would be like, I'm in this bind, I need help. I know that every single one of those people would be like, what can I do? What do you need? And that's the difference, I think. It's like, I want to surround myself with those people. With the people who... And obviously sometimes at your work you can't do that. But I also don't want to be around people who, suck the life out of you or drain your energy or what do you call it? Like cosmic... energy suckers, like vampires. It's like, I don't want that. I... Stop being around most of my blood family for that reason.
Well, and I was thinking about that too. The amount of blood family that I actually talk to mostly, because I don't really see anybody ever, would be like you and Grandma and my cousin Stacy and my brother Brian. Like, that's it when it comes to blood relation.
And you've got hundreds.
And I have, honestly, on like your grandma's side of the family, how many people am I related to? About 57? You know what I mean?
The first generation of grandchildren, there are 15.
Well, and
now who are all married and have children or whatever. And the great-grandchildren, there are 24, soon to be 25, I think.
That's insane.
And so, and it is crazy.
Well, and on that side, the only people I talk to... Well, people come to see Grandma, and I have to play nice to them. I don't have to, I guess. But it's you and Grandma, and that's kind of it. And then on my mom's side, and on Becky's side of the family, it's... And I don't have an issue with most of them, but it's really my cousin Stacy and my brother Brian are the only two, and I don't talk to them regularly,
Right.
But my chosen family is, after a while, if you are a good friend of mine, if you've been a friend, if we've seen each other through the shit, or even if we worked at this has happened, Rachel, Ian, we worked at a Starbucks in Los Angeles that was so hardcore and so intense and so scary sometimes that we bonded. You know what I mean? It's like trauma bonding. And I remember when I worked at H&M, I was a manager, but I was really close with the team. And I used to say, it's mutual suffering. Like, if you go down, I go down with you. Like, we're all on a sinking ship. You know what I mean? So it's not like I have it better just because I'm management. Like, I don't.
Or you're going to throw someone under the bus.
Right. Not
it's like, oh, yeah, because you're the lower, lower on the rung. You're going to take the thing. It's like, no.
Anyway, but so this whole thing basically is just don't be around people who are shitty. And you know what? Like, change your thinking. This whole ideology in the West that we have, where you need to work as much as you possibly can and kill yourself working, isn't reality. And it's not sustainable, and it's just going to end to an early death to everyone. My biological mother's husband, so my stepfather, who I really liked, he... I almost said graduated. Nope. He retired, and 2 weeks later was dead.
Right.
Because he overworked himself his entire life. Always worked overtime. He was a truck driver. And that's always a really intense job anyway.
Yeah.
But, like, the point of working so hard is just going to kill you or maim you or keep you in a crippled position mentally, physically, so you're not going to be able to, like, enjoy what life you have. That's when people are like, oh, well, I have this career where I work $1 billion and I don't see my family, and you know what I mean? But they give me this benefit.
Right, but those sacrifices will be worth it later. No, they won't.
Not when you're dead, bitch. When your family has your wealth.
If you have not seen your children grow up, you don't get that back.
No.
And trust me, when they're adults, they're not going to want to hang with you, because if you were not with them as a child, I don't care how much money you spent on them.
Yep.
They're not going to be like, well, you know, mom or dad was a great parent because they gave us money and bought us houses or whatever. You know, no. Kids need to be with their parents for those years where they're like bonding and, you know, getting nurtured, all those things. Because if you're not, that doesn't come later.
No.
You can't bond. You're not going to bond to them later.
No, not at all. So I just think it'd be helpful if we went back to just thinking about other people. You know, in pre colonization, that's what happened. You know, tribes took care of their people. One, but not only that. You know, the whole idea of like the nuclear family of being like mom, dad, and 2.5 kids or whatever. That is such a Western ideal where it just put boundaries up between like me and our neighbors, right? But, like, you should give a shit. And, like, half this country, like, claims to be a Christian of sorts. Like, half of that is, like, love thy neighbor. Like, my point is, it's, like, I don't know, do something where you're helping other people. And, like, regularly. It's not a one-and-done kind of thing. Like, to survive this life until it's time for our, you know, imminent demise, you have to take care of each other. Or we're going to live in misery. Like, how many, not nations, but cultures, like, so many Asiatic cultures, so many indigenous cultures, focus on community and taking care of, and they all still work and they all still participate, but it's not like drones. It's not an organized cog in a fucking machine.
I think the biggest thing there is in those cultures that do that, they are community-based, they are family-based, they're whatever-based, whereas we are all individual. Whereas, like, I am special, I'm the most special, and so I look out for me and whatever. And yes, you should look out for you. But
well, and
you are part of a bigger thing. You're part of a bigger system. Much like, you know, our everything, our planet's part of a bigger system. Yeah. If you fuck it up.
Yeah.
You know.
And I think we're seeing right now too is like everything we say this all the time, and I think increasingly over the years we've seen more and more how everything that we've been taught about America has just been bullshit. We aren't the best country, we aren't the strongest country, we aren't the smartest, we aren't whatever. But not only that, all of the lies they told you about, like, you know, you can pull yourself up by your bootstraps and you can be self-made and X, Y, and Z, it's nonsense. Like, it is just nonsense to keep you working until you die, right? Yeah. To keep you like, well, I'm a self-made billionaire. Nobody's a self-made billionaire. Nobody's a self-made millionaire. No. None of that makes fucking sense.
Yeah, if you went out and struck oil on your own property, then I guess there's at least that's closer, but still, it's still not you, but yourself.
No, and you know, I talk about this a lot because it breaks me down, and I think about it pretty much constantly. It's the whole Israel-Palestine thing. But my point is we pay taxes, and why would our tax dollars going to be not funding like a genocide, but why is it paying for an entire like socialized education, socialized healthcare for another nation when we don't have that here, and people are dying?
Well, and we talk all the time about how we can't afford that.
As
a nation.
But we send hundreds of billions of dollars to other nations annually
who have that,
so they can have socialized healthcare and socialized education and whatever, and be taken care of, and things are reasonable, whatever. Not here. And so riddle me that. I don't care what stance you fucking have. The fact that American people are also suffering, dying, can't eat, are houseless, children don't have education, X, Y, and fucking Z, and we want to like legislate against women, legislate against queer people, yet we're funding for this society to be like a utopia for the chosen few. Like, that to me is utter bullshit. You know what I mean? And if I was smart enough and I knew how to not pay taxes, bitch, I'd be all, let's go to court. Because why is that happening, right? Why are you deciding to pay for someone else's life?
I do wish that there was at least an option where you could say, okay, well, I will pay my 33% or whatever the hell it is. And then I get to choose at least where part of it goes.
Yeah.
I should at least be able to choose where half of it goes.
Well, and
whatever. So that but I could say, no, I don't want any of my money going to weapons or war or any of that kind of shit, because it's all stuff that we create to keep society going, to make money. Because war is a big money-making venture. Girl. And I remember learning that in elementary school and going, what? How do you make money on war? I understand now, but it's like, why are we still doing this?
Yeah, because people are so greedy. The profit.
Oh yeah.
I don't understand that. There is, in psychology, there's about a number. There's a median number that if everyone had that amount of money, everyone would be baseline happy, right? Because it would cover your bills, your food, your leisure time, whatever. But it's proven, like statistically proven, that making an exorbitant amount of money just makes you want to make more money. Yeah. So when you have $1 million, you feel like having 500,000 is you're broke. So you just that's the whole capitalist ideology.
And it also is that you live in fear that you're going to lose it.
Yes, all the time.
And so that's the thing. I don't live in fear that I'm going to lose my money because I don't have that much. I have enough to take care of my family, to do the things I need to do, but I'll never be rich, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But the other thing I was going to say, we're talking about working until you're dead, is Social Security is trying to get people to, work until they're dead, because they want you, because it used to be you could retire at 62, perfect, great. Yeah. And then they were like, well, let's push that to 65. And then it was 67, and now it's 70. And so, and their way of getting you is like, well, if you wait, you'll get more money. And I figured it out, and I believe we even talked about it here, that you don't.
Yeah.
Not until you're 80 does that money even level out.
Yeah.
Well, I might not live past 80, for Christ's sakes. Who knows? I may not live to 80. I am going to start taking my Social Security at 62 so that I can be a little more comfortable with my income and whatever. Yeah. It's like, I've paid into that shit since I was 15 years old.
Oh, God. Sorry. Big cat.
Cat's going crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to try something different this week.
I'm ready.
And so we're going to take a little momentary break.
Okay.
I'm going to try and squeeze in a commercial.
Okay.
Or see if I get it right. If I don't get it right, whatever.
You're still
It was worth a try.
Yeah.
So we're going to do that right now.
Okay, bye. Hi, welcome back.
We're back.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, can you believe we were gone so long?
I just went and did chores. I went shopping.
I gave the cat a bath. That explains the blood all over my
arms. This cat's crazy. Did you not see her sitting on this table biting me? Just mad. She's just mad.
I know. She's like, I have nothing to be mad about, but I'm going to kill you today.
Yeah, I hate it here.
I realize you are the person who feeds me, takes care of me, loves me, but I will have to kill you.
Well, in about 20 minutes, she'll want to come lay on my lap and purr and love on me, but then she'll be mad again because she's probably hungry again.
Or she's just schizophrenic.
Well, listen, she might be. I can't know.
I don't know. So last week we were going to talk about kind of a wrap-up of 2023.
Yeah.
Now, this is a silly thing to start with, but did you realize that the last day of 2023 was a cool number date? Because it was 123, 123.
Oh, I did see that. That is so
that's
cute.
Yeah. Well, in my life, there have been some dates where people are like, oh my god, the date is 5678.
Yeah.
Or whatever. 6789.
Yeah.
And if you include the time with that, it's like, it's 12:34, 5, 6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
And it's like that lasts for a whole minute, but whatever.
So
and I remember people talking about it on the radio. Yeah. And then when somebody had mentioned to me, they're like, oh, New Year's Eve is going to be, or New Year's Eve is going to be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And I was like, what? What do you mean?
We're going to dance?
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Right. And I was like, I know what that means. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I just thought that was interesting because once I looked at I was like, I get it now.
Oh, super cute.
Sometimes I'm a little slow in the uptake, but I get it.
Yeah. No, I get it.
So on New Year's Eve, we partied like crazy.
I forgot.
We played. We went games.
We hung out for about 4 hours.
In the middle of the day.
Played games, came home before it was nighttime so I could strap on.
We walked home at dusk while it was still safe.
Yeah, right? The 20 feet I have to walk. But wrapped Amelie in her little thunder shirt. But I was surprised. There weren't a lot of fireworks.
Not as much as there usually is.
No.
There was still, for me, too much.
Oh, well,
for our
agreed.
dog, too much. We have the most terrified pit bull who's afraid of everything.
Yeah. And
the doctor, they said she should probably be on Prozac. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense.
Because she's a mess.
Yep.
She's afraid of everything. She's afraid of her own shadow. If it starts raining, that makes her crazy.
Yep.
If it's dark, she's afraid of the dark.
I know, and she's a scary pit bull. I know.
Right. Well, she's killed 20 people this week, but
she's afraid of the dark.
Of everything.
Yeah, Kitty Girl hates it. Kitty Girl hates the noise. So I was sitting on the couch, and she's right under my seat, like under the couch, just sleeping. So I put a little blanket there so she could be hidden and go night-night. But they were not fans at all. And
I bet not.
And they slept in bed with us, which is like normal, but they didn't leave. Usually they'll get down if they get too warm. Nope, they in bed.
It's safe here.
And
there's too many noises.
And by the time we all went to bed, girl, I'm in bed by 8 o'clock usually. So midnight, I was in bed. I was asleep by 12:30. I was all, oh my God. Oh, is it noon? Like, how is it? I can't, I was real broken about it.
Right, I know. So some of the things, it's funny that you probably, when we talked about we were going to do the year in review and stuff, probably picked actual important things that happened in the world.
Sure.
I wrote down all the celebrities who died, who meant something to me, whether it be good or bad. Because there are some people on this list who were absolute garbage. Yeah. And I was not sad. I'm not going to say I was happy, but I wasn't sad that they died. I mean, like when Pat Robertson died.
Indifferent.
Ugh, I was like, I'm not sad. Because that guy, it's like believing that the queer people brought on all of the plagues and the tornadoes and the shit. It's like, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
What an idiot you are. So when he died at 93, I was like, you had easily 70 years too many.
Ding dong, the witch is dead. Yeah.
But whatever. But then there were people like the people who were kind of in the middle somewhere who I know who they are, and died too young, which made me sad, like Lisa Marie Presley. 54 years old. I mean, she outlived her father.
Right.
By quite a margin.
Yeah.
But still, 54, that's so young. And she had grown children, and she has whatever, and it's like, that's heartbreakingly sad.
Yeah.
Lisa Loring, who played Wednesday Addams in the original Addams Family series, only 64 when she died.
Jesus.
I know, that's very young. My glamour icon of the world, Raquel Welch. When she died, I was actually very sad. She's 82, though. She had a good life.
Yeah.
She did all the things. She had her own line of wigs. What more do you need? She made really terrible movies and some good ones.
Okay.
But
she made movies.
She made movies. Some of the worst ones were the most iconic, like when she was in... oh, God, I just blanked on the name. The one where she's wearing the fur bikini.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, I mean, it was like Land Before Time. No, that's a movie with the little
dinosaurs. Yeah.
Whatever. I don't know what it was called. But she was instantly famous because of that little fur bikini, because she was hot.
Yeah.
And
I love it.
Probably was really hot. She was wearing a fur bikini.
Yeah, she was sweating.
But, yeah. Harry Belafonte.
Okay.
Now, he was 450, I think.
Roughly.
Yeah, he was very, very old.
His father, Methuselah.
But he was also very important in history.
Okay.
Because Harry Belafonte, who most people know as an actor and a singer, he was in Porgy and Bess and a bunch of other things. But Porgy and Bess, I think, really kind of put him on the map, movie-wise.
Okay.
But was known as a singer as well. But he also was deeply, deeply involved in civil rights movements.
Love it. Okay.
He was part of, the March on Washington. He was part of the Martin Luther King's camp. He was in all of these things where he was making changes.
Yeah.
So he was using his fame for good, which I love that. He also was the first black artist to win an Emmy.
Wow.
In 1960.
Wow.
What? Really? That doesn't seem right.
It seems right to me. It's before civil rights passed, girl.
Right, but 1960 you would have thought, but Emmy is television.
Yeah.
So, were there any black people on television who were not just some background?
No, he was probably just the one.
Right.
So that's why he won.
Well, because around a little bit earlier than that, Nat King Cole had his own show.
Sure. And
it didn't last very long because people were like, why is this black man in our living room?
I'm sorry, why is The Help on TV?
Yeah, that's kind of what people were, so...
Yeah.
But Harry Belafonte was also an EGOT.
Oh!
So for those of you who don't know what that means, it's Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony.
Yeah.
and it's a very elite group.
There's like 6 people.
There's more than that now, but it's a still a very small group. Suzanne Summers, who, for me, the most kind of impressive thing about Sue. I mean, she had a long career, but 2 things. When she was on the show Three's Company, she went in and said, "I would like to be paid what John Ritter's being paid."
Yeah,
we're equal parts of the show. They were 3 leads. There was not like, well, he's the star and we're the backup girls. Yeah. They were equal. And she was like, I should have equal pay.
Agreed.
And so they fired her. Instead of giving her equal pay, they fired her. They said, so we're going to make the rest of your contract hell. And wouldn't even let her come to set. So her parts were like on the phone. She would be talking to them. And so they filmed them on another set.
Interesting.
And they treated her horribly. And she was like, yeah, all I wanted was equal pay.
Yeah.
So she was one of the pioneers of that, of women getting equal pay for the same thing. And just recently, on The Big Bang Theory, it came to the attention of the men on the series that the women on the series were not getting the same thing they were getting. And so the men on the series went to bat for them and said, we should all be making the exact same amount because it's an ensemble cast.
Yep.
We're all in it equally. We're all equally important. Yes, 1 or 2 of them is like more of the lead of the thing, but it's an ensemble.
Yeah.
And they were going to not do it. And some of the guys were like, then give them part of my salary because it's not right that they don't make equal pay. So I love that is now really a serious conversation. It isn't still really happening.
No.
But, people like Suzanne Summers started that conversation.
Well, and like Jessica Chastain, when they went to go do The Help, took... Nope, I almost said Octavia Butler. She is a writer.
Octavia Spencer?
Yep, I'm assuming... Is that who she took? I can't remember. But they went to producers, people in charge, and said, we're only going to do the film if she's, like, tied to me, if we make the same amount of money during,
Yeah.
Because they were having a conversation about women's pay to men. And then the black women said, okay, well, if we're going to talk about that, we have to talk about the gap between white women and black women. And so
right, because it's white men.
Yep.
And then the next group would be any other men, and then women, white women, and then women of color.
Yep. And it varies.
And it's a pretty big gap, too.
Yeah, and it varies, too, between what race you are, even. Because it's like Asian women make more money than black women, but less than white women. Do you know what I mean? So it is very stratified.
Fucked up.
It's stupid.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Okay, wait. Here's my thing. I hear a couple things.
Yes.
They're kind of indifferent. But this year was the warmest year on record.
Yes. But climate change is not real.
It's not real. Also, this is the first year that the Earth has hosted 8 billion people.
Too many.
Too fucking many. And everyone's talking about, population. Everyone needs having children to maintain population. No. There's 8 billion fucking people, or there were. I don't know if that's still... Maybe it hit it and then maybe it went down. I don't know.
Hit it and quit it.
Yeah. But we don't need that many fucking people.
No.
Also... As we know, Russia-Ukraine is still happening. Israel-Palestine is still happening. There's a genocide happening in Sudan, and then there's a civil war happening in Congo.
Right.
And I want you to know that one singular war emits so much greenhouse gas that it's horrific. So there are multiple wars happening, multiple tanks, planes, bombs, etc., etc., etc. That are not only
destroying the Earth,
not only destroying the Earth as a whole, but those areas around it. Like, think about you're fighting in such close proximity. We'll use Gaza and Israel. You're bombing using white phosphorus, whatever, on this land that you hope to occupy. What do you think that land is going to be like? And you wanted to put salt waters in the canals into the water, you're going to literally salt the land. Like,
right.
So
so you're not only killing the people, but you're killing the land that you are trying to steal back.
And do you think it's not going to make you sick? Do you know what I mean? Like, do you think... you're never going to get this. Like, why are we fighting over it? But my point is like, people are using horrific, toxic chemicals... Right. And then being like, we're winning the war. You're not. You're also inhaling that shit. Do you know what wind? You know how wind works?
Wait.
Girl, yeah.
There's no wind.
So I don't care how wind feels. We're all going to die, burn the planet down. Like,
don't you just have to, like, crawl under your desk or something and then it'll be all good?
What you do is you just bury yourself under cement.
Oh.
Yeah. You won't breathe. But
But...
you won't get those diseases from the chemicals.
That makes sense.
What are you looking at? Is your mother over here?
I don't know.
Goddamn. If she shows up over at my house being like, hello.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised.
No, me either.
But, you know.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that always just amazed me. Like, when you see the old things, like school things and stuff from the 50s, 60s, like, the atomic bomb, get under your desk. What the hell is that going to do?
Yeah.
The desk will just fall on you. What? I don't... what?
Well, they do say, like, if there is going to be an atomic bomb, you need to at least be inside. Because that's going to help. And then stay inside for several hours until fallout hits the earth, and then you can get out. That's, like, the only way to survive it, though. Oh, my God. But if you're outside when an A-bomb hits, bitch, you're dead immediately. But if you're inside, you have more of a chance of survival. You will look like the hills have eyes. But other than that...
Well, that doesn't seem like that big of a thing.
No, girl. You'll have more arms, maybe some gills, webbed toes. You'll be ready for when the icebergs melt.
It seems like a fair trade-off.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you'd be able to swim.
Yeah, and here's the thing.
And when the water keeps getting higher, you need to swim.
Do you know in icebergs how they're melting? And there's bacteria and bugs and shit that are trapped in here, and now they're melting. There is a species of worm that has been unfrozen and immediately started reproducing. Isn't that horrifying?
That is horrifying.
So, and like some of these pockets are just like toxic gases. Do you know what I mean? Or diseases that have been extinct forever because they've been frozen in solid ice. But as they melt, guess what? They leach into the biome. Yeah. And so guess what? We're all just going to get some fucking prehistoric influenza or whatever.
Oh, Lord.
I know. We're all going to turn into velociraptors.
But that's why I'm glad that climate change isn't real.
Yeah, me too.
Because that could all happen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait.
Oh.
Shit.
Wait. Yeah.
It is happening.
So that's like, oh, what are my other updates? I don't really have any other recap. Mine was like, the Earth is hotter, there's too many fucking people, and there's so many wars happening.
So, back to the 8 billion people.
Yeah.
I had heard earlier this year that Korea was at risk of becoming extinct. Because there was not enough people having babies. The Koreans, as a people... we're going to basically disappear off the earth.
Wow. In the next couple generations?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Well, make it worthwhile to live on this fucking earth, losers. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people don't want to have more children. Because why? The earth fucking sucks. And it's not the earth's fault. You know who it is? It's this plague of humanity. Who decides that wars are good and greed is better and exterminating people is the best option. Like, it's so... Do you understand that, like, we're all the human race? And all you're doing by committing genocide is helping us go extinct faster.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't care that you see them and you see brown, or you see Arab, or you see Mexican, or you see a darker skin or a different accent. They're still a human. And here's the thing. Kill them, and we're all going to die sooner. Yeah. I don't know. It's just the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
And that's the whole thing of that. You know, you're bombing someone, but expecting it's not going to affect you.
Yeah.
It kind of makes me think of, you know, the soldiers who... had to find different ways of killing people because it was causing them too much stress,
too much trauma
to kill people up close. Like, if I have to murder these people, I don't want to see it.
Well, and that's after all the dehumanizing, you know, and like think about the concentration camps and the Nazis. They already dehumanized, made Jewish people seem less than, you know, subhuman. But it was still too hard for them. So good luck dehumanizing people and then slaughtering them and not having any effects. Right. But girl, that's what I'm saying. I don't care what side you're on in any war. If you send people to go slaughter other people, and this has a lot to do with the United States too, I hope that you struggle. I hope you see those children in your minds when you sleep. You know what I mean? I hope you see those dismembered body parts. Like, I hope... anyone who is as an agent of war and committing atrocity, I hope you struggle with it. I hope it eats at you. I hope you never have a moment of peace in your life. And that's ugly, but girl, so fucking be it. You want to commit genocide? Struggle for the rest of your life.
It was interesting last night. So I realize I'm super, super late to the game, but we have just started watching Doctor Who. So I'm on season 1, but not the original season 1 in the 60s. We started with the one in the 2000s, right?
Yeah.
But the episode last night was just, to me, it was a little Logan's Run-ish.
Okay, what was
in
that?
In the fact that, it was when they were on this satellite thing where they beamed all these television shows from there, and they were all these game shows.
Okay.
But if you lose, you die.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And the people who were running these things and like vaporizing the people and doing whatever, it's like, you're murdering people. We're just doing our job.
We're following orders.
That's not okay. That's not, I'm sorry, but I'd be like, just kill me, because I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to kill other people. I don't care what you say. I don't care if you're like, I'm going to kill you. Well, then kill me.
Then I'll die.
That's fine. I'm not going to kill other people. But that whole I was just following orders thing is such bullshit.
Yeah.
That it's like, you have a conscience, hopefully, and you should look at that conscience and go, I'm a conscientious objector. I'm not going to kill people. I'm not going to carry a gun. I'm not going to drop a bomb. I'm not going to do any of these things.
So a Nazi who doesn't follow order, or who's just following orders, is still just a Nazi. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter that you did it, whether you wanted to or you were just told to. You still fucking did it. I don't know. I don't know why that is such a hard concept. And to try to be like, well, I was just following orders. Okay, great. You know how to you know how to be complicit. Like, congratulations. You know what I mean?
And back, because it's like the people who bought and sold slaves and then beat them or killed them.
Yep.
You know, it's like, you were a horrible human being.
Yep.
Oh, well, it was just the common thing then.
Yeah.
Who cares?
And? Right.
But did you not have a soul?
Right.
Which is all a big part of why they made it so it's like, oh, well, black people aren't really people, so it's not so bad. If we treat them badly, it's no different than treating our animals badly. It's like, I don't know how you could believe that lie. Well, how you could because somebody said they're not really
the
human.
shape of their head make them subhuman. The crazy thing to me, though, is even that ideology, the thought of like, well, they are humans, so it doesn't matter they're animals, so it doesn't matter how we treat them. What? If you're going to treat an animal poorly, if you're going to like, so let's pretend that you think black people, during the time of slavery, were animals. That's also how you treat animals. Nowadays, if people treat animals like that, we consider them to be like early on psychopaths. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like that, oh, well, it's okay because it's no different than how we beat our cows or our dogs or whatever.
Well, and for me, the idea is like, if you're actually raising animals to eat them,
sure, you're not abusing them.
You're not abusing them.
No.
Yes, you're going to kill them, obviously, but you're not like beating them or doing horrible things, hopefully.
Hopefully.
And if you are, then you're a fucking psychopath.
Yeah, and so I don't care that whether you would do it to a human, you should never do it to a human, but the fact that your justification is like, well, it's an animal. Do you know the one time I've hit an animal with a car, I had to pull over and open mouth sob on the side of the road?
Same.
Yeah, girl, there was no way I could continue.
In my 100 years of driving, I've hit one animal, which was a possum. When I was 19, so I just was driving on my own.
Devastated.
And it ran out from between two cars, and I didn't have time to stop. And I'm all, fuck.
Yeah, devastation.
And I felt horrible, and I literally, like you, I pulled the car over and cried, and people were like, you did all that for a possum? Yes, it was a living creature.
Yeah, and I killed it with a car.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm sorry, remember the day we were going to Costco and people were stopping because there was a mama duck and baby ducks crossing the street? And I was like, oh my god, thank god that people are stopping. But they were crossing the street away from the park. And I was like, now what are they going to do? They're going to live at the junkyard? What are they going to do now? Drink oil? Like, distressed just seeing the animals
I remember it very well,
walk across the street.
Because you were not right.
No, and the rest of the day, that's all I could fucking think about.
I know you're thinking about that mama duck and all her babies in the junkyard.
Yeah, and I'm like,
doing what?
Yeah. Who's hurting them now? That's it. Yeah. Because I don't trust people.
It's like you walked away from the water, the park, all the good things to go over there.
I know, and now they're probably all dead, and I should probably lay down and die too. Like, I'm too delicate for this planet, girl.
Right. Somebody else who died last year.
Oh my god, who?
Actually made an impact was Dianne Feinstein.
Oh yeah.
She was 90. She was the oldest sitting senator, the longest serving female on the Senate, and the longest from California.
Wow.
So, big doings for
Snaps.
a woman.
A woman.
Who's a politician.
Dumb woman.
Now, oh God, what was it? I'm trying to think it was in the 70s, 78, when Harvey Milk was murdered.
Okay.
And the mayor of San Francisco was also murdered at the same time. And she was...
Jesus Christ.
Did you not know that?
I don't think I knew both of them were murdered.
Yeah, they were murdered by the same guy, Dan White, who used the Twinkie defense. He ate too much sugar and made him kill people. And he got away with it, by the way. But then he killed himself, which was good. But
what the fuck?
He went into whatever the government building was where they were.
City Hall?
Probably, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Whatever, government
and
building.
Shot Harvey Milk first, and then went and shot the mayor. I think his name is Moscone. It's been a long time, so if I got that wrong, I apologize, because I did not do any research on that. I hadn't even thought about talking about it. But she was the one who, at that moment, stepped up and became at least the sitting mayor. You know, but she was also the one who talked to the press. Yeah. And was like, this horrific thing just happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Dan White.
What was Harvey Milk's position?
He was like, I don't know. He was an elected official.
Yeah.
And it was like on the city council or something, I think.
Who knows?
You know, I don't remember.
Sure.
But he opposed Dan White in almost everything because he was trying to get equal rights for queer people and whatever. And Dan White was, used his religion to say, no, we can't do that. And so when he resigned, Dan White resigned, and then thought better of it. He was like, no, I want my job back. The mayor was like, no, I don't think so. Yeah. And so he killed them both. But
crazy.
And the only reason I started that is because Dianne Feinstein was the one who was there and took care of all that mess, which was wild. Sinead O'Connor died this year.
I didn't know
that. Was really sad.
Yeah.
She was only 56 years old. Also, trailblazer for women.
Yeah.
Political activist, spoke out in public, and lost probably most of her career.
Yep.
Because she had the nerve to speak out against the Catholic Church.
Which, girl, at this point, on a daily basis, I speak out against the Catholic Church.
She did it on SNL.
I know.
And there were people... She got death threats.
Yeah.
But she got death threats from other celebrities. Like, Frank Sinatra wanted to kill her because she was speaking out against the church and, miracle.
Do you know what's so crazy? Is nowadays, getting a death threat... NBD, no big deal, because since social media is a thing, how many times do people get death threats for literally anything they believe? Right. Well, didn't she also rip up a picture of the Pope?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
all on. Well, she was singing live on it. And by the way, that's one of those clips of SNL that unless you recorded it on your VCR, you're never going to see it.
Is it Pope John Paul II?
I don't remember which Pope it was, but it was.
If it was, he was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So.
Well, most of them have been.
I know.
But she also suffered with mental health issues.
Right.
And she also suffered because her son died not that long ago. Okay. And so she just had a lot of stuff. Yeah. But I give her props for being, a political activist and speaking out for what she believed in. Your cat is a fucking psycho.
I know.
So obviously y'all can't see what happened, but the cat just jumped up and was like, sat on her lap and then bit her.
Yeah. Hey, Mom, hold me. And then just chewed on my arm. And if you forget, she's 20 pounds of panther. Yeah. So she a mean girl.
She is a mean big girl.
I need you to know, I went down this rabbit hole yesterday watching TikTok videos of this guy who has working cats on his farm. And I said, what that? And so basically he has these 10 cats on his property that all have collars with air tags on them so he can find them. Lives in the country. Every morning, they sleep in a catio at night, like what Grandma has, like a huge enclosed, night-night place. They have food, toys, beds, whatever. They go in there at night, and then he lets them out, and they go roam, and they eat rats and mice and moles and keep their farm from being overridden with pests, right? Yeah. But I thought it was so cute because he has done this since they were younger, and so he'll just call their names, and you'll just see these cats start coming through the forest back to their catio. I watched video after fucking video after because these cats are so impressive, and I'm they have jobs. My cat can barely be a cat.
I don't think your cat knows she's a cat.
No. Well, and so they showed this cat, and they were like, "Oh, and here's our biggest cat, our 15-pound," and he looked huge, and I'm like. What? It does.
I have a psychotic cat who's 20 pounds.
Yeah, and so in pictures, Nyx is the same size as Amelie, and I'm like, you're two different species. I don't understand, and she's not supposed to be huge. I don't get it. I don't. What are you anyway? Right. So maybe I should train her to be a working cat.
I have been going down a different animal-related rabbit hole.
Okay.
It's all about this parrot, this African gray parrot named Apollo.
I love, Apollo is,
I don't know. Because I've always heard that animals can, like parrots, only repeat.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're thinking and going,
okay,
hey, here's a question for you, whatever.
Yeah.
But this man who's Apollo's owner, friend, trainer, whatever you want to call him, he'll hold something up and go, what is this? And Apollo will go, that's block.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what's it made of? And he'll tap it with his beak and go, wood.
How crazy.
What color is it? And he'll tell you what color it is. And I'm like, okay, there's two, because he was holding all these different things.
Yeah.
And it's like, he doesn't say these things in some kind of order.
Yeah.
So it's like red, block, whatever. And he was tapping this metal bowl going, metal.
Crazy.
But the funniest one is he holds up a little action figure of Wario.
Okay.
And it's like, who's this? Or what's this? And he goes, Wario.
Oh my God, so cute.
But he's like doing, which one of these is bigger? And he'll tap the bigger one. Which one of these is blue? And it's like, how the hell does this parrot do this? It's amazing. Yeah. And so I've watched like 1,000 now I also enjoy the ones where he gets everything wrong.
Okay.
Because there are those videos where he's like, that's a bolt. No, it's a hat. Or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, whatever. But he also posts those, so he's not just going, look, my bird is perfect and they're so smart. Because he'll also show the ones where the bird's like just making noise or
I don't know.
I don't know what that is. Pig.
Yeah.
Whatever. Who cares?
That's my mother. Yeah.
Right. It's so easy though to go down those particular rabbit holes once you get started. And for me, animals.
Always and forever.
Pit bulls.
Yeah.
Because all the videos about pit bulls, I will watch.
Yeah.
Because, it's like these people going, you should never have pit bulls around your children. Then you see this baby, like, sleeping on their pit bull.
Yeah.
And, it's like, yeah, they're terrifying.
Terrifying, mean babies.
Yeah.
I know. Any animal video, I'm pretty caught. Like, Jean, she's looking at her butt. She probably farted. Honestly, this is Amelie Jean. Now that she's an old lady, she toots randomly, and she gets her ears perk up, and she looks at her butt, folds herself in half to be like, what is that? What's burrowed in there? Yeah, she doesn't understand that's her own fucking body.
Oh, Deanie, that's okay.
She'd do... Yeah. Oh, and see, she found one of her kibbles. I told you, she'll take kibble and hide them around the house, and then go find them.
It was a snack for later.
Well, she has to make sure the cat doesn't eat it.
That's a smart girl, Deanie.
And Jean said, I'll feed them dinner. Kitty girl will eat hers, then jump down. And Jean will even look at her. And then once the cat gets close to her bowl, Jean's like right on top of it, like, no! But she doesn't want it.
Well, she doesn't want anyone else to have it. Well, I get that. I understand.
Yeah, she's a doof.
Well, we didn't really talk about a whole lot that happened in the last year, but that's okay.
Let me tell you. I mean, we kind of did.
Yeah?
Well, because let me tell you, in this last year, my life has changed a lot. I quit Starbucks. I graduated from college. Things are better. I'm in a great relationship. I'm probably the happiest I've been in my life, other than the world.
Yeah.
But everything in my life is going swimmingly. It's just the world is shitty and horrible. You know what I mean? Because I have a great family. Appropriate
you use the phrase swimmingly, because that's probably what we're all going to be doing soon.
Yeah. Because I have a great family. Again, I have a house, I have a car, I have a sweet, amazing, a great man. You know what I mean? I have a college degree. I have insurance.
So what you're saying is it's all about you.
It is, because I am the main character, in case you forgot. We're in my house.
I did not forget.
On my podcast.
We moved our studio over here.
Yeah, it's easy. It's been nice, though.
It has been nice. No interruptions.
Yeah, other than you have to deal with sometimes the scent of reefer. Other than that, you're welcome.
And this crazy cat who's laying on the table staring at me.
I know, like
she's
next.
Planning her attack.
You're next, Grandma.
I know, right?
Yes,
I'm sure that I am. The other person I have to mention before we go, Paul Rubens.
Oh my God!
Now that one I'm going to tell you, I felt in my soul,
devastated,
because I have been a fan of Paul Rubens / Pee Wee Herman since the early '80s, since before he even did Pee Wee's Big Adventure or Pee Wee's Playhouse or any of those things. Because I first saw him on HBO, where it was a filming of his Broadway show, which was basically just Pee Wee's Playhouse, but on stage, and it was meant for adults, not for children,
yeah,
right? And a lot of the humor feels like it's childlike humor, but it's stuff that only adults really are gonna get, And it was whatever. And I just thought he was a genius, and I really hate that his career was sidelined for something as stupid as he was in
an adult theater,
and whatever.
touched himself.
Who cares?
Doesn't
everybody?
Isn't that what the point of it is?
Yeah.
I think everyone's doing it. Yeah, it's weird to me. Everyone's like, Paul Rubens, childhood hero jerking off in front of all these people. No, he wasn't.
There weren't children there. It was an adult theater.
That's like, everyone does that there, I think. I've never been to one. I've never been to like
I assume that's what it is.
A porn theater.
So here's a little piece of history I'm going to tell you, and then we're going to go. The Aladdin Theater, which you know because we've been there multiple times.
Yeah.
We saw John Waters there. Back in the day, was a porn theater.
Really?
Yes. And for years, they showed the movie Debbie Does Dallas.
Oh my God, I love it.
And Deep Throat.
Oh my God.
Deep Throat played there for, I swear to God, 10 years.
That's crazy.
Every time we would drive past it, it was like, oh, they're still playing Deep Throat.
Wow.
I, as a child, didn't know what Deep Throat was.
Other
than it said XXX. So I was like, oh. That means it's naughty.
Now as a reformed whore, you definitely know.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Anyway, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, bye!
Yeah, and happy birthday to you.
Thank you so much.
January and your birthday and all the good things.
I know. So. You know what I thought about? You know how we're going to Disneyland in May? I'm like, well, of course. Of course we're going to Disneyland for your birthday. Of course we are. You always get what you want, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. What are we doing for my birthday? Probably nothing.
I'm
probably
sure we'll
laying down and dying or whatever.
I'm sure you'll get a present. Please. Your boyfriend's going to buy you a present probably every day of the month.
You know, he already told me he was going to.
So
it's like an advent calendar for my birthday.
Listen, I love that.
Me too.
All right.
We
got to get the hell out of here.
I know. So like, share, subscribe, send us messages, your love, your devotion. Go fuck yourself. No, just kidding. It would seem as though at Jamal.com. And Jamal is Gmail, in case you're wondering. But yeah, tell us stories. Tell us you want to talk about shit. Or just tell us you love us or hate us. Whatever. Go do something important. Bye. Bye. Play the goddamn
What the hell?
What is happening?
Nothing.
It would seem as though.
Okay, bye.
Bye.